Hi guys! So in this video, I'm going to be painting this cute SpongeBob nail and I'm going to show you how I did it. So this is the image I'm using as reference. So first I'm going to paint my base colors. So I'm doing 2 coats of this blue color. Then I'm going to be using my sponge and the MPA gel palette paints to create this ombre. So for the ombre, you want to layer it in very thin layers, so that's what I'm doing. Now I'm just going to matte top coat the nail so that we have a smooth surface to start our sketch. So I'm just using like a brownish color to get my sketch onto the nail. So this doesn't have to be perfect as it's just a sketch. We're going to outline everything again at the end. So first I'm doing the outline of his head. Then we're just adding his body. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect, just so that you have an idea of where to paint in your colors. And when you're painting characters, you want to break it down into little shapes. That makes it so much easier. Now we're just gonna sketch out his face. And if you make a mistake, you can just use a brush and some acetone to wipe off that mistake. Now when you're painting the eyes, you want to make sure it's proportionate to the mouth. You can use the mouth as a guide as to where to place the eye. The circle of the eye should begin at the same point where the mouth starts. This way, everything will look proportionate, and then the second eye should end where the mouth ends. as this is how it looks in the photo. Now we're sketching out the teeth, and you want to make sure not to make the teeth too big. So over here I made a mistake, so I'm just using some acetone to remove the gel, and then I'm just going to re-sketch those teeth. Then once you finish sketching out everything, you want to dry the nail for 60 seconds. So now that everything is dry, I'm just gonna start filling in all the colors. So here I'm using the yellow from the MPA gel palette. This whole nail, I've used everything from the MPA gel palette. For this part, you just have to refer to the photo and see what colors are where and then just fill them in. And if the colors are too close together, you want to dry them before filling the next color, otherwise they will blend together. So here his whole body is yellow, so I'm just filling all his body parts where you can see in this yellow. Now we're gonna go in with our outline after all the colors are filled. So I'm starting with the outline of the head. So I used a brownish, grayish kind of color for the head because that is what he has in the picture. And then the rest of the outline is mostly black. Now we're gonna add the details on his eyes. So he has bluish eyes. So I'm using my dotting tool to add the dots in his eyes. And then we're gonna dry that before we add the black dots. And these are gonna be very small dots. I'm using a thinner brush to do his nose. Now I'm just using the red paint to create his cheeks. Now I'm just using the white paint to make his teeth. Again, we don't want to make it too big. Now for the eyes, you want to dry everything before you start doing the outline of the eyes, because sometimes this can be very hard and then we don't want to start all over again and mess everything up. So I'm using a very thin brush to do the eyes. Now I'm just adding his eyelashes, which are just 3 lines. And now I'm using the same color that I used for the outline of his face to create the sponges on his face. And these need to be very random. And then I'm just creating the collar on his shirt, since I forgot to do that earlier. And now SpongeBob is done, so we're just gonna add some of these lines at the top. Again, this is the same paint from the MPA gel palette. And now we're just gonna top coat everything. And there you go, that's how you paint SpongeBob. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out more videos on my channel.